to Dissing Disabilities. I'm your host, R. Michael Schlesinger. Today we'll be talking about the IEP process and preparing for a meeting. I have a very special guest who joined me today. The special guest is Ms. Kristy Emory. Kristy is the president of Community Advisory Council in Long Beach, California, and she's also a parent of 3 autistic children. Welcome, Kristy, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So the IEP process is really daunting, and I thought it would be great to turn to someone who really knows what goes on from the parent's point of view for our viewers, and you have the experience. What kind of tips would you, and advice would you offer parents?
Well, first I would say basically to stick to your records and review those before. You can always ask for a draft of the IEP in advance and ask for a copy of any of the paperwork that you're going to be going over in the meeting. Really, that's going to be the key, is to being able to participate in the IEP, is having access to those materials so that you can be ready to participate and give your input.
Okay. And I heard, and I've talked to people and I've also participated in the IEP. Isn't it good to have recordings of the IEP in case you can't bring somebody with you?
Sure, you can always record an IEP, and I really do recommend that. It's great to have a record going back so you can reflect back and see, what was said, because it's really hard to remember all of the different points that you're going to be discussing in the IEP.
And also, isn't it a way to match your notes against what's been said in the meeting? That
Exactly.
way someone can't say, well, this wasn't said or this was said. And I think another thing to do before the meeting is make sure that you get copies to the IEP team as well.
Yes. If you're going to tape record, you need to give 24 hours notice in advance in writing. So you'll need to give that to either the SDC teacher or the administrator on the site, and make sure that they have fair warning that you're going to be taping the IEP meeting. And it really is going to give you a better record of the IEP than any written notes can provide.
And also that way, when you look at the IEP and go over it at home and you're ready to sign it, you can see what's missing, if anything. Correct?
Exactly.
And also, one thing I want to encourage the viewers is never sign the IEP right away. I would sign either just for participation to show that you were there if you don't agree with some of the things, or if you don't. Remember, you can sign all, some, or part of the IEP.
Exactly. There are different options on how you can sign. I would say definitely, sign that you had participated in the process, and then take it home, review it for a day or so. And if you need to have a person who helps you to look at that, if you want to have discussions with family members about what kind of things are being discussed at the IEP and get some input, if you have an advocate, and especially if you're being advised by legal counsel, you would definitely have them review the document before you would sign it.
You talk about keeping a binder of your child's records. Could you show for our viewers what we're talking about?
Sure. Basically, any large binder would do. And what kind of documents you would keep in your binder would be IEPs, of course.
Why don't we open it up and see how it's organized? I mean, we're not gonna due to confidentiality, we're not gonna zoom in to show any information. But do you want to kind of?
Definitely, I can show you the parts of the binder. First, you would have your index, and that would give you a numbered list of each item that you would have in the binder. So you would have the page, which would associate with one of the tabs. Each one would just be in numerical order. You would start with the oldest documents first, and then just keep a running history.
So the newest one is on top.
No, the newest one would be at the rear.
Oh, okay, that's a different way to do it.
So you could just set it up either way, really, depending on how you want to access your documents. You're going to run out of room really quickly, and you're going to have lots of these binders. So, like I said, it was in date order, and each document has an index tab. And basically, I wanted to be fancy, so we made them colored.
Okay.
Then you would have the title of the document. So what type of document, and then you would also list the members who are involved in creating that document. There are different assessors. So if you had a psychologist doing the assessment, I would put which psychologist was there. And then I also have another section for notes.
So I have a book that I've written on the IEP process called Navigating the IEP Process. It's available by contacting me at rob@specificallyspeaking.com, or it's on Amazon. Is there anything that you would say as a parent for final words on what to do before the meeting?
Before the meeting, I would just review those records, make sure that you request that copy of the draft IEP ahead of time so that everyone has a chance to complete their reports and get them to you in time, probably 2 days at least before, so you've got time to review all those documents.
Great, Kristy. I think this was great information. You've heard it from a parent. She's gone through how many IEPs?
I can't even count how many at this point.
So take a deep breath, put on your glasses, scrutinize the documents, and you'll make it through the meeting. Please make sure that you do comment on the bottom of this and subscribe, because that's the way our channel grows. Thank you much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.